right? Okay, it's being recorded. I think Jerry dropped off. He's probably trying to rename his screen. There he is.
2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8, so we have a quorum. So I'd like to call the June 28th meeting of Parks and Recreations Commission to order. And I would like everybody to stand for the pledge to the flag. And could I ask Johnny Caldonato to lead us in the pledge to the flag?
Absolutely. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all.
Okay, thank you. Jerry's back with a real name that we recognize. Director Alvarado, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Chair Boley,
Present.
Vice Chair Caldonato,
Present.
Commissioner Alcorn,
Present.
Commissioner Armstrong. I didn't hear anything from Travis. I'm not sure if he's in an area where he's got reception, so that could be an issue today. Commissioner Cohen?
Here.
Commissioner Crawford?
Here.
Hold on. Commissioner Diaz?
Here.
Commissioner Goodman?
Present.
Commissioner Martinez?
Here. Present.
Commissioner Lamart? And Commissioner Moralia, who, Alan, you said he was running late, right?
He's running late. The wheels were turning slow at the car dealership. That was an hour ago. Okay, could we have a report of the posting of the agenda?
The agenda for this meeting was posted at City Hall, the Leisure Center, and on the website prior to Wednesday, June 23rd, as required by the established policies and procedures.
Thank you. I believe everybody got a copy of the May 24th minutes. Are there any additions, changes, corrections, deletions, comments? I see none. Can we have a motion that the minutes be approved as printed? Charlie made a motion. Johnny made a second. All in favor? Raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed? Can I ask Dieter and Alejandro? Alejandro wasn't here. He'd have to be an abstention. Was anyone else not here that has to abstain? Okay, the motion carries. Director, you want to address the correspondence that you sent out to us?
So earlier,
Chairman Boley, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to be on the record that I abstained. I wasn't at the May meeting.
I'm sorry, thank you.
hold on, abstain. Okay. So last week we received an email from a constituent. He was, I guess there were some fireworks after the Juneteenth event that was held at the park at Desert Highland. He did request that the email be sent to all of City Council and our Parks and Recreation Commission. There were, for the record, there were no scheduled or programmed fireworks for this particular event. Fireworks were done by other residents, and that is a police issue, which I believe they did come out. So unfortunately, if the commission would like, I can respond on your behalf. But I was directed to send it out and share it with you, and so I shared it with you. How would you like to proceed?
I would I personally would like for you to respond to that person just as you responded to us now.
Is the city clerk going to be responding because he was the one that was disseminating it, or has he?
No, he receives the emails and it's on him to deliver them out accordingly. So I can go ahead and respond on the commission's behalf and the department's behalf if that is the desire.
Does anyone else have a question, comment, or suggestion about that? Then I believe that means, is everybody in favor of the director moving forward as Commissioner Diaz reported? Okay, that'll do that. Do you have any other correspondence that does not come in?
None at this time.
Sometimes people, it is hard to see all your names, faces, or hands waving. So if I miss you for something, there is a, down at the bottom under reactions that you can raise your hand if you have something. That moves you up to the top, so sometimes it catches. But if I miss you because I'm looking the wrong direction on the screen, please do as Commissioner Goodman did and reach out so that keep things straight. Okay. I don't see any for public comment, so I'm assuming we have no public comment this week. This month.
None today.
City manager submit any comments to you?
He had said he was going to try to attend, and I think he had logged on for a brief minute under Sherry's name, and then he logged off. So if he comes back on, we can come back to any of his comments.
Is that all right with everybody to come back to him if he does show up? Okay, fine. Then we will just go on to our staff updates, and we have Director Alvarado with our staff updates.
Okay, so I have lots of goodies to share with you all. Dawn sent over some downtown park pictures, so let me share that with you right now. So he won't be able to attend this evening, but he did want to share these, and this is how construction is going. So that looks like the stage. The trees look a little sad, but when they get transplanted, it takes them a little while to get their life back in.
I was there Thursday, and there's a ton of trees that had been placed in there.
All right, and so those are the pictures that he shared. And then I made you guys a video to show you all of our fun activities we've been doing during the first week of bringing a majority of life back. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay. So there's a lot of the programming that's been happening at camp. I figured some of you didn't necessarily get to attend opening day, so you wanted to see some of our activities that we had going on. Let me see what else I have for you.
Hey, did they do the tie-dyed shirts?
Yes.
They don't know, so we order. I'd like to figure out how we can actually do them ourselves and still have the writing in place. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting in trying to figure out how to do that.
cool. All right.
Department updates, here we go. All right, so this last Thursday, there was a council item that went before for approval on consent calendar. I'd written a grant for the Anderson Children's Foundation to purchase a timing system for the swim center so that we could host our own swim meets and try to do some inner Coachella Valley Parks and Recreation programming with our some of our swimmers for camp, and maybe start a league for the summer. And the grant was in the amount of $19,910, and council approved the acceptance of it. So I actually go on Thursday to receive the actual check so that we can work on getting that purchased. So hopefully next summer we'll definitely be able to do some competition racing, maybe with the Boys and Girls Club. Or maybe even just with departments. Maybe we invite James O'Jesse to create a team, and the Leisure Center to create a team, and Demuth Community Center to create a team, and we do our own little intramural swim team programming. Summer camp is in full swing. We have over 250 kids registered in between all three of our camps. We are working on continuing to reinstate contract classes like our dance classes, karate, aikido, gymnastics, and boxing. Roller derby will be starting back next week. We're working on developing new programming like art classes, sports skill classes, etc. We've opened up the recruitment for the recreation supervisor position for the Demuth Community Center. Swimming lessons are being offered in 3 sessions, and I have a flyer to share with you there, which I will do shortly. Village Fest will be reopening on Thursday, July 1st. And we are reinstating facility rentals. We held a scaled down version of Village Fest on June 15th when the state reopened to just kind of kick off and kind of get our toes wet again. And it went really well. It was really, really hot though. We had maybe 1 or 2 vendors end up dropping out because of the heat, but overall the community was excited to be back out and see, you know, our vendors back out there. So we've been busy. I emailed the 4th of July flyers to you there's John. And then let me share, and I can send this out if you would like. Let me share the swimming flyer.
Hey, Cynthia, I have a question.
Yeah.
What time is it going to start? Are you guys going to push it up? Push it, I guess you'd push it up. No, push
Village
it back.
Fest?
So, yeah,
In
7?
the summer, it starts at 7, and then once we get past the summer hours, we go back to the 6
Right.
start time. So here is our swimming lessons flyer. So our first session started last week, so it's in the second week of its first session. The next session will start July 5th, and then the third session will start July 19th. As we begin to reinstate some of our staffing levels back, we're hoping to begin to offer swimming lessons year-round to our community and not just during the summer. And if not us, at least through a partnership with one of our swim teams so that we can have that offering there for our community. Any questions on my updates? Did you like the video? Does that work for you?
Cynthia,
Yeah,
it was
video was-
fabulous. It was fabulous. You're doing a great job. The flyers, the video. It must be wonderful to have kids back.
Oh, it's so nice to see them. I get high fives and waves and
Cool.
Dayton, I walked in and Dayton said, "Look at my train." So it's really cool to see a lot of the kids that I know from, either some of your guys' families or, families in the community, and see them at camp, either registered as in camp or volunteering.
Opening day of camp, they were so excited. A lot of the kids, campers that were there were very excited. We had myself and Jerry Alcorn were at the Leisure Center. Then Jerry took off and went down to Duluth for theirs, and I went the other direction to the James O. Jesse. But if anyone
Cool.
has a chance to stop in during the week at one of the camps, all three places, or just drop in, and they get so excited to know, and they're very appreciative of the camp. And it is very exciting to see them back.
Very cool.
That will be your staff updates then?
Yes, sir.
You have anything from Don on the projected project updates?
I do.
Okay.
So the JOJ gym floor is complete, and I can show you a quick picture of that.
Couldn't walk on it when I was there yet, but it looked wonderful.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. Real good.
So there's a picture. Ignore the walls. The pads weren't put on just yet, but everything is back up and running, and the kids are all using the gym, I think, as of this week. So that's the new floor with new lines. I haven't been there to see it just yet. I haven't made it past the multi-purpose room where the programming's been happening with the kids. So they had drumming class today. So
I believe Peter's in the gym.
are you in the gym, Dieter? All right.
Oh, he's there.
Oh, you're in the community meeting, right? Okay. All right, so that project is done. Pavilion landscaping, that's been completed. The park benches have been delivered to Demuth. They just need to be placed. They might have actually been placed over the weekend. I need to do a drive-through and kind of follow through. The windows in Pavilion, acoustics and shade. Facilities getting quotes on the window curtains and blinds, the audio equipment selected. However, the procurement did not accept the format of the agreement, and it's being revised. So that's going to take a little bit longer. The shade structure contract is going to be installing at Desert Highland Park and Demuth, I believe this week, so they'll start that work there. And then playground resurfacing, final contracts will go to City Council for approval on July 8th. And then ball field lighting, the consultants continuing to work on the design. For the July 8th, we do have a proclamation going forth for council. It is Parks and Recreation Month, and they're going to be delivering that. So I'm trying to see if I can maybe arrange for some of our staff to be there, and then if some of you can be there as well, I think it would be really neat to be presented our proclamation for Parks and Recreation Month. I will send out details the sooner we get. I just want to make sure it's on the agenda for that actual date. So stay tuned.
That's July 8th.
Yeah, Thursday, July 8th. Sunrise Park restrooms, the contractor's continuing to build the restrooms and moving that project forward. For the Demuth Park, Desert Highland Park restrooms, the project is out to bid, and bids will be open on July 7th. And they'll take a look at what some of those bidders turned in, and then they will select a bidder to move forward to council to have that contract awarded. The Demuth Community Center AC, the plans are currently going back and forth between the consultant and building and safety to address the plan check comments, and the project is still moving forward. Demuth Downtown Park, the contractor continues to work on sidewalks, lighting, irrigation, and planting material. And those are Dawn's updates.
Thank you. When you look around, there are a lot of projects that have gotten going right now through the new year and well, in the middle of the year. It's had a couple years, and that's about where we're at. Commissioner Lamort, you have a question.
Yes, I do. The kids in District 1 are asking Councilmember Garner when their playground if and when their playground is going to be completed. So I'm wondering if we have any word on that, the grant, the $68 million grant.
We have not heard back on whether they've awarded or not. I think they're in the process of reviewing the application. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that we get a site visit, and then we'll see what happens from there. I do know that there's interest on behalf of some of the council members to try to see if we can secure dollars to make the park a reality, even if it's in a phased approach. So hopefully, whether we get a grant or not, we can get this park to come to fruition for the community.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions on projects? And you have nothing more to add to the update?
I do not.
The restroom at Sunrise, looking at it, it was about 3/4 of the way up and is starting to take shape and look good, and just as the others will be shortly too. Can we turn to you then for the discussion on the COVID-19 updates as to how they
Sure.
affect our parks and recs?
Sure. I know there's been a lot of updates in regards to who can wear masks where and all of that good stuff, vaccinated, not vaccinated. We are following what is being applied to the school district and to the kids, and we're doing that across the board just because it's easier for staff to, if we have the line set at one particular spot, it's easier for them to help enforce versus trying to have all these different standards throughout the community center. So while we continue to program and have our doors open to the public for now, face coverings will still be required for all indoor programming. Obviously, while you're outside, you don't have to wear your face coverings, but to try to continue to keep the community center space safe for everybody who's entering, coverings will be required for now until we continue to make some further progress when it comes to the COVID-19 virus.
Questions, comments? I know Director Alvarado sent out an email to the commissioners about the 4th of July events. I don't know how many responses she got, but she wants to discuss a little bit about the program she has going for the 4th of July.
All right, so this year, 4th of July looks very busy and very different compared to what we normally do. We will be doing 4 different events at 4 different locations. And we wanted to reach out to our commission to get some participation. So one, get your face out there and be the liaison between the community and give us a few little extra helping hands. So we are looking for you guys to help us out at the different locations with either information booth or handing out lunch tickets or helping run some activities. So Victoria Park will be on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you're interested in that. I know Jazz was looking for help with handing out the lunch tickets and working the registration table, getting waivers signed. And then when it comes to the pool, if you're interested in running a game at any one of the pool or Sunrise Park, there'll be plenty of opportunities to do that. And it'll be essentially kind of like the kind of style of games we did for our drive-through activities that we've done at James O'Jesse or here at the Leisure Center and at Demuth. We're gonna try to make as many water-based activities since it will be warm. And then there's opportunities for other types of fun games. And then the same thing for the 4th of July Spectacular at Ruth Hardy, where there'll be the concert and lighting. An information table I think will be fantastic, and it's a great opportunity for your face to be out there and be recognized as Parks and Rec commissioners, and for the community to know who their liaisons are, to be able to bring concerns to you and have conversations and all that good stuff. So hopefully some of you are interested in helping us do some of this, as it's going to be a very trying day for my team, being at 4 different locations with an all-day programming schedule. So any takers?
Did you put me in where we talked?
Victoria Park, right?
If that's where you want me, that would be fine. Yes, I'll be there.
And I could do Victoria Park as well.
Okay.
if you need help there.
We need help. I have space for everybody.
What are the hours that you need for the pool?
So the pool will be programmed from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. So anytime in between there, Ellen, will be fantastic. And if you're helping run an activity, we'll place you with experienced people so that you can help assist and feel comfortable.
Yeah, no, I've got lots of kid experience and lifeguarding and water, but those hours won't work for me. So I'm
Okay.
already booked. I'm sorry I didn't have enough notice. I apologize. I would absolutely want to, but I won't be able to.
Okay.
Cynthia, I'm gonna check to see what all I have going on my family side, but as soon as I know what I'm doing, I will volunteer for as much of that as I can help with.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'll email you. Thank you.
Perfect. And don't feel that you have to be there all day either. If you can only come out for a few hours, we'll take whatever you're willing to offer.
Say, where would you like me? You point and click and I'll be there.
John, where do you live by?
I live near Victoria Park, actually, but it sounds like you have enough coverage there. The only issue I have is I am actually going to a fundraiser in the late afternoon.
Okay.
So I'd have to do something that got me out in time where I could still go to the,
What time is your fundraiser?
I'm looking that up right now. I knew that question was coming.
It's the one.
You know what?
Is
If
it the
John
one
wants
that
to do,
is the one on the hill
Yeah, it's the Food Samaritans thing.
that starts at 6?
Oh, I show 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
So I guess I'm good up until, I don't know, maybe 6 o'clock or so.
Okay, do you want to help at Ruth Hardy?
Sure, I can go. I mean, I'll go anywhere.
Okay. I'm just trying to spread you guys wherever I can. All right.
If anyone else can come up with something, please get to her. We'll be ping-ponging you for begging for help as we come along there. It is Monday, so we're down to the wire.
All right.
I can help out at the pool on Monday. Instead of Victoria Park, if whatever.
On Sunday?
I'll get with you guys. Yeah, whichever, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, on Sunday? Is it a Sunday or Monday?
It's Sunday. The 4th of July is on Sunday this year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Monday will be off, so don't show up. All of my facilities will be closed.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I was thinking Monday, so it is Sunday, everybody.
I'll send out a calendar invite so that you guys remember and
Perfect.
where we're going to put you. So, all right.
Johnny and John, maybe you want to flip-flop if you do, because you said, you can talk about that
We could do that.
with each other.
Okay.
Just make sure you show up, and I'm assuming that you or Jasmine will tell us times that she wants us to be there ready. And
Yeah, I will get with her midweek and finish out the details and then send them forward. And then if you have time, look at your schedules, let me know what you are available for, and we'll plug you in wherever we have space.
and wear your commission shirt.
Yes, and if you haven't picked it up, I will send it to your location and you can put it on there. All right.
Me? Now, everyone's moving. Did I send this over to you, Cynthia?
What? He's frozen.
Should we fill in the gap? We can make it really exciting.
Yeah, right. One of the ad libs. But I think he's talking about the committees, the commission committees.
Okay,
The ad
I'm back.
subcommittee.
There you are.
I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm froze. Did you get that, that file that I sent you, Cynthia?
What day did you send it?
I don't recall, but if not, I'll send it again. But we had discussed about our Parks and Recreation Commission ad hoc subcommittees that we have, and some changes that we have to make. Our dog parking seems to be fine with Travis, Ellen, and John. Our Measure J has David Cohen, who is leaving us after this meeting, so we have to have someone, or we would like to have someone to step in there. If someone is interested in stepping into our Measure J subcommittee, is a very active one when we are asking them for their help. Anyone particularly would like to work with the Measure J subcommittee?
Alan, who's on the committee? And I think it's not had a.
Let me share.
Measure J is Ellen, me, Johnny, and David.
Oh, that's great.
That's it. Well, is it not readable?
Oh, can you not, you can't see?
Yeah, we can see it now. Thank you.
Oh, it's blurry on mine, so it must just be me. But I have one. So if is anyone interested in taking David Cohen's spot on the Measure J? We do have, by the way, 3 new commissioners that will be joining us next month. We did interviews last week with Dennis Woods, Lisa Middleton, and myself, and 3 people have been selected to go to council to replace them. One of them had mentioned a place that they were interested in working. So we do have some areas that they will be, but I would like to open it up to our people here. Sunrise Park will be losing David out of that one. Restroom.
You know, Alan, some of these are slightly inactive because they are project-based.
That's why
And
they're
so
ad hoc
maybe,
as needed.
right, so maybe waiting for some new commissioners to come where they might feel like they could kind of hit the ground and get an orientation might be a nice idea.
We have got that in mind. I just wanted to get some feeling from the others. I appreciate that very much. We would, with the restroom, we'll have Charles's spot open. Pickleball, I'm thinking that we may not even need that, but we'll leave it as an ad hoc for the current time in case it's brought up again. And again, we have David's spot coming open there. Park naming, we have David's spot coming open, and the art in the park is filled right now. But as I started to say, we do have 3 people that will be coming to join us. And the good news is 2 of them are from District 5 and 1's from District 4. So we're getting some participation from that area, which we've never had a commissioner from the 4 or 5. And we have two ladies.
Charles is terming out as well on some of those committees.
Yes, I said the restroom and the art in the park.
Yeah.
And I think one of the new people mentioned to me that they would be interested in that area. So we have 2 females and 1 male joining us. So that's just to bring you up to date on that. Does anyone else have any other suggestions or comments as to the ad hoc committees that we have and what we should be doing? Think about any of the spots that are open, if you would like to join into that.
I think Ellen brings up a good point with the new, I don't want to say new blood, but you know, the new people coming on, the new commissioners coming on, they might want to join in too. So, but I see what you're trying to do.
During interviews, I kind of picked their brain as to what their interests were and did get some notes on the areas that they were interested. And I do have a couple of them that want to. But anyway, you look at those if you have anything that you want to bring up, because those will be being filled with Charles's spot and David's spots that are going to be left open when they come in. Any other questions or comments on that? Do we have any of our ad hoc committees under number 5 that have met and have something to share with the commission as far as working on things? I know Charles had said to people before that our subcommittees and ad hoc committees are where we really had the fun and get things working with here. And we have so many things accomplished. We do have new things that will be coming up. There are no reports of anyone for the ad hoc committees. Well, that brings us to number 6 on our commission agenda of the election. And this is June. We have to go into electing our chair and our vice chair for the next year. So at this point, I would like to open nominations for chair for the next coming year. We will be meeting in July. We have August off, and then we start it back in September again. So we have it open for nominations for chair. I would like to, someone that has really impressed me, that I'm going to throw it out there, and I would like to nominate Jerry Alcorn for consideration. He has 2 daughters that are in the parks system, one in the Barracuda swim group, one in tennis. They're in summer camp, and he's at a lot of those activities. And he's just got a good handle on it, and I've been very impressed with that so far, and some other things. So I'm going to throw out that I would like to suggest Jerry. I wanted to suggest Johnny, but he's a little too busy right now, so that's where I'm at. Anyone have anything else to add?
I second that with Jerry. If he's willing to take it on, I think it's great. It's a great call. We probably
Jerry, you
should
want
hear
to
from
unmute
Jerry.
and answer if you're willing to take it on?
Yeah, thank you. I'm humbled and honored. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm willing if you guys entrust, you know, it's something I'm willing to do. I have I'm a part of a couple other nonprofits, but my time can permit, and I would dedicate it to it. So, you know, I'm just trying to make our whole park community more inclusive, you know, so it'd be great.
We have a nomination. We have a second. Do we have any other nominations? I would like to move that the nominations be closed, and I guess we go to a vote. All in favor of Jerry Alcorn as the chair for the next year, raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain?
I'm going to be gone, so I think I'll abstain.
All right, thank you, Charles. Jerry, I'd like to congratulate you, and I will be passing over some information and things, and hopefully we get to go back live into the conference room come September and do this. Now we move to the position of vice chairman of the commission, and I would like to know who would like to open up nominations for vice chair. We have a nomination for vice chair.
I nominate that Johnny continue as vice chair, just seeing as how he's got a year under his belt, and perhaps he could support Jerry.
Ellen seconds that. Do we have any other nominations? Then we could just go by acclamation that we would re-elect Johnny as our vice chair. Okay.
All right.
Great. At this point then, elections are closed, and we now have our chair and our vice chair for the next year. Congratulations to both of you. At this point, we have reports from our commissioner comments. So I would like to just go around our room. Before we do that, we do have 3 people leaving us. Alejandro will be leaving us. His term is expiring. David will be leaving us, and Charles will be leaving us. I do appreciate the time, and it's always been fun to work with the three of you during the time that I've been here. And we're really going to miss you. I was really hoping to see you continue on with us, but I know things do change from time to time, and people have too many things going. So I do thank you for that. But I would like to just start out, Alejandro, if you have any comments that you would like to make, I'm going to start down at the bottom.
Yes, I do actually. It's been my pleasure to be on the Parks and Recs Commission. I know I've never really said a lot, but you guys always ask the right questions to make sure the projects are always moving forward. So I felt like I've never needed to interject myself. You guys do an amazing job of asking the right questions and making sure that things are always moving along. And to Jerry, I just want to say congratulations on becoming the new chair for the Parks and Rec Commission. Big congratulations to you. Keep doing what you do, because I myself, having a physical disability, I feel like you're doing great work out there, because I know for me personally, I feel like one of the disabled community or people with disabilities are heavily underrepresented. And when you're doing the work you do, selling adaptive equipment or getting the stuff people need, I feel like that's just an awesome job. And keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your help and input along the way and your encouragement, Alejandro.
Well
Yeah.
said, Alejandro. Well said.
And good luck at college, Alejandro. Go get them.
Thank you. I would have reapplied, but with me moving out of state to go to college and
Where are
pursue
you going?
Grand Canyon University,
Great.
Oh, very good.
hopefully planning to tackle something in the medical field.
Congratulations,
Headed down
my
that
brother.
long road.
Good for you, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank
You
you
guys
again.
just keep doing what you're doing and keep being awesome.
Okay, thank you again. Commissioner Crawford, we'll go to you for commissioner comments.
For me, for commissioner comments, I just want to say that I went to the opening at the Camp Chicapoo, and I didn't see many commissioners there, so I hope you guys went to the other ones. But I've got my sons going there, and I've got a little cousin there, and they seem to like it pretty well. So just want to give kudos to the Parks and Rec staff and the directors that are putting that together. He really enjoys the camp.
Thank you. Commissioner Goodman.
Yes, thank you. So I think what I'd like to just report on really quickly, if I may, is the dog park, a quick update on that. Just a big shout out to Stacy and Cynthia and the management team. The park has actually been looking quite good, and I did get some really good feedback this weekend from our residents who use the park. So thank you very much for that. And then Cynthia, I did send a photograph through the Palm Springs app, you know, to report like problems. There might be a small leak or something underground at the dog park. There, it's more water than just really watering, and it was by the trees in the gravel area. And so it looked like there might be a water problem there, but otherwise a big props to everybody. It's looking really good. We have been asked by a couple of participants at the park what the status is on our progress with the City Hall ground conversation. So Cynthia, we might want to cycle back together with Travis. And then I also think Animal Samaritans, I don't recall one probably even answering that email, but there was some grant opportunities that came in through Animal Samaritans. And so Cynthia, if we can schedule like 20 minutes, maybe we can go through some of those things.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Morello.
That's me.
That's you.
Well, Jody and I received a beautiful picture of one of the benches that were painted in Ruth Hardy Park. So, I mean, I thought it looked fabulous. And I did visit some of the, a couple of the parks during this crazy heat wave. And the question that I kept getting asked was regarding those turtle, I don't know what you call them, fountains. What do you call those things? Fountains, maybe? And people were sort of asking, like, are those ever going to come back?
As far as I know, those turtles were decommissioned years ago probably because of the drought, but there might have been some infrastructure issues as well. Well, they were supposed to have been removed. James O'Jesse's is staying in place because it kind of got turned into an art project. My desire and vision for the department is to be able to start working on getting closer to providing a water feature at every park, but more on like the flat type of design where the water just squirts up so it doesn't become a liability issue with somebody tripping over and whatnot. So we'll figure out how to start bringing that kind of a feature back into the park, because with us only having one community pool and it being so hot, especially during the summer, you know, there's lots of issues for our constituents, whether it's transportation or the ability to, you know, get in to pay over here. You know, those amenities should be in desert communities like ours, and they should be free and accessible. So that is my desire, and we'll figure out how to bring that to life. And then also the flat design to make it more accessible for our wheelchair bound kids, right? So they deserve to play in the water too.
Cool, that's good information.
Is that all you have, Ben?
That is all I have.
All right, let's go on to Commissioner Alcorn.
I just want to first say thank you to everybody for the vote of confidence. I appreciate that. But there's a couple things I have. First off, the camp is running beautifully at the leisure center. Two of my older kids go there. They absolutely love it. It's great. But some things I've noticed there now going there on a regular basis is we really could use an upgrade on the bike racks there. One's broken, has a couple sharp edges, kind of really atrocious, you know. We could use some. We have these awesome City of Palm Springs bike racks all over the place, and we're missing the mark right in front of one of our pinnacle parks that we use all the time. So I feel that we should get a couple in there. And also really right in front of the swim center, there's some art piece that's there that people lock their bikes up to, but we really could use one of our Palm Springs bike racks there as well, you know. Other than that, everything else seems to be going really well in the city. I mean, I can sit here and talk about maybe Francis Stevens Park. If one day we can ever change the slides, flip them back over to being slides instead of a rock climbing wall, that would be really cool for the kids as well.
Francis Stevens or Ruth Hardy?
No, that's Francis Stevens. Francis Stevens, the triple slide at the end. It'd be cool if we can flip that one back over to be slides again instead of that's like a rock wall.
The one downtown?
No, the
Victoria
Park. My apologies. Yes, Victoria Park. Come on, Jerry. Yes, Victoria Park.
I got your back, Jerry. Don't worry. We'll get this.
Thank you. But yeah, that would be cool to get flipped back over to slides again, you know. Other than that, everything else seems to be going very well in the community. The bathroom's coming along nicely. Cynthia, your staff is crushing it at all the places. I mean, they really are putting 110% in. And the staff you have at the Pavilion Leisure Center are great. I mean, from the kids all the way up there, it's really, I talk highly about your program, and this is why, because it's really good.
Thank you.
Commissioner Diaz.
First and foremost, I will miss you, Charlie, David, you guys. I wish you well, whatever it is you're doing, and stay out of trouble. And thanks for all your energy and time. And no, I see a no from Charlie. So everybody keep your eyes out for him out on the streets. Patrick Sheehan did send John and I the picture of his first painted bench in Ruth Hardy, which was of course cool and colorful and, you know, great. Like it's a great start. Showed us the before and after, you know, nothing looks better than the before and after. Nothing. Yeah. You know, and I'm just, you know, my concerns with just the upkeep on those as they fade. I work out in Desert Hot Springs and I see they had painted stuff and I see it fading, and I just hope, you know, the hope that the upkeep can remain on those projects because they're vibrant and they bring a lot of life and beautification to the parks. I did have a question, and I, honest to God, I went through our minutes twice. I must have read it possibly in the city council meeting minutes or agenda or something, but it said something about the Parks and Recs wish list, something about, and I thought, did we submit another wish list or do we need to? Like, do they feel as though they've fulfilled our requests, our prior requests? And so if so, I don't want to miss that opportunity for us to get a wish list going. Like you just said, one thing for sure that, you know, I would be pushing for is water features in each park. I'm pushing for the park at the end of Sunrise, you know, over here in District 1. But there's so many things and I don't want us to miss that opportunity. I wrote it down on my agenda for tonight, but I'm not really sure where it came from. So
I think Dawn had mentioned that we would be being approached by Measure J again for a wish list. But what's happened is council's had some discussion, I think maybe 2 or 3 meetings back. And essentially what's going to happen is they are going to, council's going to sit down and do a session where they talk about what goals do we want to accomplish, and then they can figure out how we're going to move that forward and then start taking Measure J recommendations so that things can align. And then once they establish that foundation, right, then hopefully we'll still be a top priority as we have been this last year and a half. And we can build this list to continue to do, you know, improvements in our park. So if anything, I would say start creating this wish list so that we can all come back and get together and talk about these things. And then the Measure J subcommittee can figure out with working with, you know, engineering and parks maintenance on what will some of these items cost, and we can bring it back and then we can do, you know, a vote on what are our top priorities so we can take that back to Measure J.
and considering how much time it takes for a project to happen, I'd like to get that done. I volunteered and attended at the Juneteenth celebration on June 19th at James O. Jesse Desert Highland Community Center Park. And it was evident just being out there. I spent too much time in the sun. I actually got heat stroke for being out there all day.
Wow.
Yeah, I got really sick. Toughed it out, like, you know, anyway. I wasn't there when the fireworks went off. I was home probably already getting very sick. But, you know, the water, you need water, we need shade, we need so much more. The restrooms, there were no restrooms. They dropped off a couple, as you know, a couple porta potties. And, you know, I heard several comments from community members about, you know, like how lousy it is that we get a porta potty. We took the trailers downtown to the Village Fest can have them, but we can't, that kind of thing. So that's still a hot, touchy subject. And I realized we haven't broken ground. I went to Sunrise Park Friday, and I went to a power game and a walk through the park, and I do see the progress on those restrooms. And again, you know, how come that and how come this isn't? And I understand how it all works, but the public doesn't necessarily always understand that. So just putting that out there, I'd really like to see something get started, some progress. Also taken quite a few comments from friends and citizens of Palm Springs regarding downtown park, Maryland. And I don't think we had anything to do with Maryland because I didn't get to vote on that. So I'm assuming that it wasn't us, although we were invited to attend. I would have really loved to seen her fancy up the Francis Stevens Park or something over there where the art is, rather than block the view of the museum, but that's just my opinion. And all that stuff's going on, and I feel like we need to put our energy into families and citizens that are using the parks and that kind of thing. So that's just my own feelings and 2 cents on that. And I guess that's it. Oh, the flyers too, Cynthia. I know that you put out these, all the 4th of July stuff. I know that we got them emailed to us. But I did have received lots of questions from folks about the activities. You guys are putting together great stuff, but it's not, I know you're probably using social media, but there's a lot of people that don't use social media. And so I don't know how else, I saw the A-frame, but again, that's only accessible by people that are in positions where they can get to see those or drive by them. And we have a lot of folks with children that don't access any of that. And so I just feel like it's super important that, I don't know what it, even as much as going up to certain communities that we know are being underrepresented at these activities, and posting some flyers on cars or something maybe would help. I know that takes manpower. We could certainly help with some of that, but just putting that out there. I'm sure I talked way past my time.
Everything was well worth it. Commissioner Goodman, you have a comment?
Yeah, is it okay if I just say a few things on what Jody said?
Sure.
One of the things that I've noticed, and Travis might, shoot me for this comment, but one of the things I've noticed at the dog park, and I don't know how often that trailer, there is a restroom trailer that's been parked there. And what I see when I'm in the dog park, people are staying, especially in this heat, an hour, 45 minutes or an hour is a very long time for a family and their pet to stay at the dog park. So I don't know how much use that restroom trailer is getting at the dog park. And maybe now that City Hall, is open for people, they could maybe use that restroom and have that trailer restroom moved to the James O. Jesse Center, so that it's not something that's just brought in for special events. So I would recommend that. So please consider that. And then the other thing, and Jody, I think this was really an interesting point. I don't know, I saw Dieter at the Mizell Center last Monday, but the city is doing a round of listening tours with the general plan for 2040. I don't necessarily think it's well publicized. There were only like 9 people at last Monday's meeting. And Dieter, I don't know how many are there tonight. Probably more if you were getting the message out. But in that, there's a big part of parks and recs and facilities. And I know that last Monday, we had a lot to say about parks and recs and the facilities, but this is an opportunity to, I think tonight might be the last one, but it's a shame that this wasn't circulated in a much broader way, because this was our chance to really talk about the park, the facilities, the buildings, the bathrooms, and so forth. So just wanted to share that.
I did attend the one last Tuesday at Vista Del Monte Elementary School. It was Spanish only, although I attended, and my Spanish is más o menos, so I got half of it, but I did ask my questions in Spanish and in English in my comments, and they flip back and forth between languages, and they posted it on, I think, Facebook Live or something like that. And one of the gals was taking information from that and asking questions from the public. It was also very poorly attended. However, because of some of the recruiting that we've done in the past, and Dieter and I, from a previous meeting, I contacted some old parents of mine, and a few of them showed, but and I gave a lot of input, and they did not honor necessarily what I was saying, so I was super frustrated as well, but I'm sure. Yeah, and that tonight is the last one, so I don't know what Dieter, what the turnout is down there tonight, but hasn't been great. And again, it's, social media is great, but it's not reaching a lot of folks that don't utilize that or have the resources or whatever to get that information that way. So thanks.
Commissioner Diaz, the wish list thing, I believe, came from Measure J, because they sent that to me asking us to start formulating our wish list to send to them of things that we're interested in. Your other comment about the listening, communications has never been a strong point at Palm Springs, and I'm just going to come right out and say it. As a commission, I was not even notified of this until it was too late to attend the meetings. And I thought it was poor on the part of the city, the staff that handles communications, and the communications all the way through for us. Sometimes I feel like, they overlook us.
And I got that information from attending the Desert Highland Neighborhood Community Group meeting. And so Grace posted it because she attends those as the representative for District 1, and that's how I got the link. But I'm thinking to myself now, 1PS, which is hugely representative of lots of neighborhoods, again, not our disenfranchised neighborhoods, but lots of other ones, that could be something that the city could partner with, and it's on the city calendar. 1PS is on our City of Palm Springs calendar, so that would have been a better way perhaps to get it out. But again, our families that really need the input, the families that live right by where we need to put a park and want a park, by all these mobile homes up here, I'm pointing because I live right here, they don't get the information unless we go and hand it to them or talk to them about it. So yes, 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 and yes.
And we can't hand it to them unless we know about it.
You got it.
Commissioner Cohen, is there anything that you would like to add this evening under comments?
Sure, but I yield to Vice Chair Coldonado, who seems to want to have a comment.
Just real quick before we get, go into David's, but going back to what Jody's comment on the social media, I agree 100%. I think maybe if we can put, let's say these flyers that Cynthia has right now for the upcoming event on July 4th, what we can do is maybe put it on that parent view where every single parent of all the kids going through the Palm Springs school district, unified school district, they get this. A lot of them do. Maybe that's a good way to channel some of this information. That's all.
Thank you. We can move back to Commissioner Cohen.
Yeah, thank you. It's been an honor to serve. I can't believe it's been over 3 years. And when I started, it was the height, if those of you who were on the commission remember, of the battles, the tennis versus pickleball battle. And I think it was at least Ellen and Johnny, and I don't remember if there are others, and Jody. That had a number of public meetings and negotiated some peace in the Middle East there as best we could, and left it to City Council to come up with the ultimate splitting the baby compromise as it is now. We've done great work, where we could, and what I've learned a huge amount. So even though I won't be on the commission, I hope to be able to be before you when there are times when I can be of help or have something to offer to say. I'm an avid user of a lot of the city facilities, JOJ, when it's been closed for use for the last year, but that and Demuth and I live right near Victoria Park and others. So I hope to be able to be before the commission because I've learned a lot how this works. And of course, everything boils down ultimately when we're trying to prioritize and make upgrades to finding money, and that fluctuates year to year. So we'll move on as best we can, but I have extraordinary admiration for all of you. We haven't always agreed on everything, and still we are productive and get things done, and that's just the best way that it works in public discourse. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for keeping it going. Director Alvarado, can I ask a quick question? Because I've been getting pinged even this evening during this meeting. People are asking, is there an official time that some of the facilities like the Demuth pickleball and tennis courts close in the evenings?
So the outside?
Yes.
They should be closed at like 10 or 11 p.m. I believe.
The lights will go off at 10.
Yeah.
Okay, people are asking, I didn't know because it's so hot, they're thinking about playing much later. So of course, that's the other thing that we all know. People assume we know the inner workings of every inch of the city facilities, let alone what things are. So thank you for being patient as we brought those comments and questions and concerns along. And that's about it. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you going forward. And if it wasn't for some family obligations and other things, I would have continued on but unfortunately I had to prioritize just some things that are going on with an 87-year-old parent and some other things that are happening. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David.
Okay, my screen jumped around and I kind of lost track, but I think we're up to Commissioner Lamort.
Well, like David said it all, so I'm done. No. The one thing that I've enjoyed this a lot, to be quite frank with you, I didn't expect to, but I really did. I felt like I really was able to accomplish something and to help. The biggest takeaway that I had is that we are so lucky to have Cynthia. In the middle of my 3 years here, she arrived and the place came alive. And so Cynthia, I just think you're doing a fabulous job. I try to say at every meeting, I sincerely mean it. You make us look good. People say, oh, you're on the Park and Rec Commission. You guys must really, yeah, well, it's Cynthia and Director Schaefer. Between the two of you, you make Park and Rec work. I want to encourage those who haven't done it yet, get on a subcommittee because that's where the fun is. I never thought I'd learn as much as I did about bathrooms and sanitary landfills and methane smells, and who knew? So it was quite an experience. As David, we didn't all agree. Sometimes there were times when at the beginning of a meeting, I say, okay, Charlie, just shut up and listen. But as you notice, something would happen, it would trigger me and I'd have to give you my opinion. So I thank you for listening to me. Sometimes I was ranting, but it really was coming from the heart. And in those 3 years, it's amazing the things that we've accomplished. I mean, you talked about the pickleball situation and tennis arguments and the dog parks. Ellen and Travis have been working to get the dog parks to work before I came and throughout the entire 3 years. I am a dog lover, and so I really appreciate what you've done there. But we did accomplish some great things. As you remember, the pickleball players were complaining about the smell. All I had to do was, I made a business card. I walked in and pretended to be a boss. And people actually listened to me because I was a commissioner. So I encourage you. I was so proud of being a commissioner, I went out and had business cards made. So I really encourage you, as you see something, don't keep your mouth shut. Go. You are a commissioner. Go do it, because people really will listen to you. I think the bathroom remodels was our biggest accomplishment in that 3 years. And I knew that we had succeeded when they were deciding on color. If anyone's been involved in house renovation or building a house, once you're on color, okay, good. We're down to the end. As David said, I do, you probably will see me sitting in the audience. I'm going to become a citizen complainer. He's going to make offer suggestions. I'm going to complain. So I'm sure I'll see you all again. And on a personal note, the more people I talk about some of the situations I've been through lately, I want to encourage all of you to be very careful with your mental health. If I ever mention to somebody, I really am getting depressed, everybody I talk to says, yeah, me too. So I really encourage you that if you feel depression or anxiety or there's something going on inside of you, don't let it stay there, and you just have to get it out and work on it. So I'll leave it there. I think my last line is I'm losing my mind faster than my hair. So I think it was time to move on. I'm 78. I thought this was a highlight of my life, and I thank you so very much.
Commissioner Lamort, your comments and input have always been a big help on this group. Maybe everybody doesn't agree all the time, but we have really learned a lot from working with you and working with everybody, and we will miss you too. Vice Chair Caldenato.
Hey, Charles, well said. Well said. And I want to thank you and David for all the time that you guys put in the past 3 years. You guys are awesome guys, man. I love you both. David, I'll be hiking with you. I'm going to be playing some pickleball with you. Charles, I know I'll be seeing you someplace out there. So thank you for your time. Seriously, very cool. I'm going to talk about Demuth Park a little bit. I live over in this area. I run a league on Thursday nights, and I'm just getting bombarded with a whole lot of different things. And I actually like it, though, believe it or not. But just to put it on the record, the lights at Field 5 need some more help. We had a little issue with the Little Leaguers on Friday Friday night. So I know they're going to be working on those lights. And then we had a water issue where the field got flooded for our Saturday and Sunday senior league. The fields were a little flooded. Stacy and their team are doing the best they can, I know, but we got to get that fixed up. Especially if we want to bring some more tournaments into the city, which brings in hoteliers, which brings in the restaurants, which brings it's a trickle down effect, a trickle down effect. So, and then there's gopher holes. I had a buddy twist his ankle, actually bummed out his knee on Field 7 because of the gopher holes. So we gotta look at these fields, man. We gotta take care of these fields a little bit. The structures are old, the fences are old, but there's so many people out here, from girls softball to Little League baseball to men's softball to the seniors. There's a lot of people at that park, and we just got to find a way to take care of that grass. And then the batter's boxes. One more complaint: the batter's boxes. I know we're looking into putting clay down. I play a lot of ball. I travel. I was just in Hemet for the last 3 days playing softball for senior championships. Their fields, them boxes are just solid. You can't worry about tripping out of the box. They're just solid. In other states and other cities where I go and play, they're all solid. We can't seem to get our batters boxes to be solid, and we really need that footing. So that's enough of my rage on the softball. I haven't really said much about it, but I'm getting it from all ends, and I just have to put it on record. But love being on the board. I welcome Jerry. Congrats, Jerry. I look forward to working with you. Alan, it was a pleasure. You were a great chair, man. We had some fun. And so whatever I can do to help Jerry, let me know. And let's get some projects done. That's what I'm here for. I just want things to get done. Get it going. That's all. I'm going to drop the mic.
Okay, thank you. I shut it off because there was noise coming through. I believe I've got everybody. One thing I'm going to say to you is, some of you may have noticed that the background behind me changed about 5 months ago. That's because I've moved. Sold my home in Palm Springs, and I don't live in Palm Springs anymore. I went to city council and I went to the mayor and to resign and turn it over to Johnny back in January, February. And they told me, we have a new rule. You don't have to live in Palm Springs to be on the commission. And they asked for me to stay through my term as chair. And so that's what I've done. I want to say it has been exciting, fun to work with Cynthia over the last couple of years. It's been challenging with COVID to try to work with our commission, but we had so many projects going at the time that they were, taking shape, and everything was starting to happen, and everyone was excited, and I was too. But it has been so much fun to have her there to work with throughout this time as the chair, and to have Johnny as the vice chair. We talk quite often when we needed things, and he's really been a big asset. When I made the comment of Commissioner Alcorn, I know this commission is going to be in good hands. It's sad to see 3 people leave our commission with the terms ending this time. The sadder part is next year we have 4 of us that will be termed out and not be able to renew. Commissioner Goodman, Commissioner Armstrong, myself, and Goodman, Armstrong, myself, and I'm trying to think who the fourth one is that
Could be me. I don't know.
no, you can reapply. There's just 3 of us to leave next year. You re-up again at that point. But anyway, it has been fun. It's been interesting. It has probably been one of the highlights of my life to do this and work with everybody. And I appreciate all the time and fun that we've had over the last. Is there any other comments that anyone has at this point? If not, I would like to entertain a motion that we adjourn the meeting until our next regular meeting, which is July 26th, again via Zoom. Commissioner Collins making his last motion.
Last official act.
Can we ask for a second from Commissioner Lamort? All right, then I believe that at this point, I would like to move that the meeting is adjourned, and thank you all very much, everybody, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you, everyone.
Later, David.